What is up, everybody? It is Kimberly. Welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, you guys, do we have a juicy video for you today? I'm so excited. So many of you guys ask me about how to get someone you like to like you back. But the truth is, I want you guys to have people falling for you. I want you to be the one in control. I want your crush to be head over heels in love with you. And so many of you are asking me how to do that. You're like, I'm always the one who's falling for other people. How do I get someone else to fall for me? So today this video is all about that. Now, I know we have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into the video. So first thing, guys, remember when you were in grade school and you moved from baby books to chapter books and it was a really big deal? This video is all in chapters because it's serious stuff, and chapter 1 is all about making the game fun. This is how you get someone to fall for you. I don't really believe that love is a game, but you do want to make falling for you really exciting and challenging, kind of like a game. And the first tip is that just like in any game, you actually have to be willing to lose and walk away from it all and be like, I don't care. Kind of like poker. If you want to be a poker winner, you have to be willing to raise the stakes and leave it all on the table and be like, if I'm gonna win, I have to take big chances and I need to be willing to walk away and lose if it's not gonna work out. Best pop culture example of being willing to lose. I don't know if you guys remember this movie, but there is an amazing movie with Kate Beckinsale and John Cusack called Serendipity. Now, if you haven't seen Serendipity, you need to go and look it up on Netflix right now because it is the most romantic movie I've probably ever seen. But in the movie, John and Kate meet at Bloomingdale's, they meet over a glove, and then they end up going for coffee at this little shop called Serendipity. They realize they really like each other, but it's not the right time because they're both in other relationships. So when John asks for Kate's number, she says, you know what? If the universe wants us to be together, it will happen. So I'm gonna write my name and number on this $5 bill. And if you ever come across this $5 bill in the rest of your life, we will know that it's meant to be.
What the hell was that?
Well, if that $5 bill makes its way back into my hands, I'll be able to call you. Then you'll believe in fate, won't you?
It is so sweet and so romantic, but most importantly, Kate showed, you know what? I'm willing to let the universe do its thing, and I am not so hung up on locking this down. Part of the reason why someone falls for you is because you don't fit into the crowd. You're not pandering for their attention. You're doing your own thing and sharing your own opinions and your own individuality. Another way to make him chase you or fall for you is to create scarcity. Now, in any good game, scarcity is a factor. Think of some of the favorite games that you used to play as a kid. I loved the game Balderdash. I feel like that's what it's called, but I liked Snakes and Ladders and Candyland. Candyland's one of Cassie's favorite games right now too. Think about it, guys. Remember that game that you loved the most. It probably wasn't too hard because you'd never ever win. It'd be impossible to win, but it also probably wasn't too easy. Games that are too easy require zero effort and you can just win all the time, so what is the point of even playing? If you were the game, you want to put yourself at an intermediate level. You need to be challenging, but not impossible. Think of boys as Pavlov's dogs. Have you guys taken Psych 101 yet? Let me know in the comments below if you have. You want to let your crush know that treats are possible, but they're probably not going to happen all the time. But if they keep working and working and working, they might get a treat. Just a little Psych 101 for you guys. We're turning the chapter, guys. Next chapter, we're turning the pages and we're getting to the next chapter right now. Guys, please don't hate me. I don't think guys are actually like dogs, but in a weird way, they kind of are. People are like, oh, we're all a little bit like dogs. So please don't be offended by this next tip. Make him play fetch. Go fetch, doggy. Woof, 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 woof. Dogs, they're loyal, they fall for you, and you're the master. And if you, I just keep digging myself into the hole, don't I? So guys, playing hard to get isn't cute, but making sure that there is a little bit of give and take in your relationship is super important. That's the exact thing that's going to make him respect you and fall for you. You know, that little bit of push and pull, that little bit of give and take. It's not all one way and it's not all the way the other way. It's in the middle. So a really good tip to demonstrate this is to not always accept the first option that he presents. And this is precisely what's gonna make him realize that he's not the only thing you're thinking about. This is really key. For example, if he asks you out on a date, or if he asks you to do something, or even if it's a group of friends and you're getting together and you say, oh, actually, I'm busy that day, but I could do this other day. It shows him that you're interested, but you're not willing to drop everything you have just to hang out with him. If you can get a situation like this to happen, then good for you. This is gonna make you appear hard to get, but it's still gonna show your interest because then you're still like offering to make plans. So it's a kind of like a perfect happy medium that's going to raise your social status so that he becomes very interested and wonders how he can work to actually get you interested. Second tip, guys, we talked about guys playing fetch. You definitely want to make sure that you're like the owner and you're like making him go fetch, but you do not want the game to be reversed and you to become the one who's fetching. You want to make sure that you stay in control, and ultimately it becomes a bit of a game of catch as opposed to like one person throwing it all the time. You definitely don't want to be the one who's fetching all the time. So in order to do this, practically speaking, you want to make sure that you're sometimes the one like initiating conversations, or if you're dating, even planning dates or initiating dates. This video is about how to make someone fall for you. So in order to keep them falling for you, you have to make sure that you're enabling them to reach out to you pretty often. You can't just make it easy for them and do it all the time. Chapter 3. Keep him on his toes. You might be noticing a little bit of a pattern by now, and that's because there is one. The pattern is that it's got to be all about balance. Balance, balance, balance. So a lot of you guys think that if you want to play hard to get, if you want to make someone chase you, that you have to kind of like be mean to them or reject them. But that's actually totally incorrect. Like, you don't want to do that because that actually could bruise a guy or a girl's ego. I mean, being mean to someone is just not a nice thing to do, and it makes them think that you don't like them. Next tip, keep the signs that you like him subtle but present. You definitely want your crush to have a pretty good idea that you like them so that they can actually feel confident about approaching you. Absolutely nobody likes rejection. So someone is a lot more likely to approach you or even flirt with you if they think that their advances are going to be well received. But just make sure, guys, that you keep it subtle, especially early on. Of course, I don't want you to go out there and just explicitly tell your crush you like them. That would be really bad. But just give them little cues, like leaning towards them when they're talking to you, or something easy like maintaining eye contact. Or you can try out one of my hair flirting techniques. You guys think that's a joke, but it's actually true. You can flirt with your hair. And if you want to learn how to do that, you can watch this video right here. Another way to keep a guy on his toes is to stay totally calm and collected. And this involves like your overall demeanor when you're talking to him. So if you do happen to be talking to your crush in person and they ask you a question, don't be like, and like get so crazy and like give them some kind of crazy answer that's gonna completely overwhelm them. Instead, take a nice big deep breath and collect yourself before you actually give an answer. This makes you look so much more confident and poised and collected, and is an amazing way of keeping him on his toes. So the final tip in this entire video, and this is like the last little part of chapter 3, you guys are gonna love it. I don't know if you guys already do this, but the last final tip is to not jump on all of the silences. This is crucial, and so many people do this, and it's just so cringy. What I mean by this is when there is a natural pause in the conversation, which there's always gonna be, do not be the person to jump in and fill that silence just for the sake of not having awkward silence. When you do this, when you allow the silence to sit, it makes you come across as actually more thoughtful. And the best part is that it puts the ball into your crush's court, so that now he has to come up with something to say to fill the silence himself. And that's an amazing way to kind of keep him on his toes and keep him chasing you. What I want you guys to do right now is let me know in the comments, what kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person who's always falling, or you're the kind of person who everyone's falling for you? And I want you guys to take a minute and just give each other a little bit of advice. Introduce yourselves, say hello. Guys, don't forget to enter the huge 700K giveaway. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to announce the winners, and I will see you guys next week for another video all about relationships. Okay, bye guys.